Here with Kevin Simpson, the mind behind capital wealth planning. We've been talking about a lot of things in our series here, but covered calls keep coming up. What the heck are they, Kevin?
I'd say that's without a doubt the number one question I get, Lou. And covered calls are so simple. All it is it's engaging in a contract to sell something that we own at a price higher than it is today. So we own a share of stock. Someone buys a covered call from us. They're giving us money, and we're selling them the right to buy something from us at a price higher than it is today. Now that to me sounds like a pretty good deal. It's very similar to a lease option to buy in real estate, but like anything else, it's not perfect. There's no free lunch. When we're engaging in that contract, there's the possibility that the stock could go higher and surpass that price that we've locked in. So we make some, but not all, of the potential upside on an investment that's appreciating. But to us, over the long term, we think that that's a great way to lock in profits over time. Conversely, the stock could go down in value. And in that case, we've got other disciplines and exit strategies that would perhaps have us sell a stock. But if a stock is going down because the markets go down, which they have a tendency to sometimes do, as we've learned recently, by selling a covered call and generating that additional income, we've reduced our volatility and our downside risk compared to someone that didn't write a covered call. So we've addressed what happens if they go up. We've addressed what happens if they go down. Sometimes the best environment is a flat market where nothing happens because we still own that stock, but we've generated that covered call premium, and maybe we've even brought in some dividends along the way, which helps us get paid while we wait.
You have stuff in your portfolio. When do you write covered calls? Do you write them on everything?
That's a great question. Most of our peer group looks at it as a covered call strategy, which requires us to sell covered calls on every position all the time. We firmly believe that that's the difference with capital wealth planning. We don't sell covered calls on every single position every single month. We go through a process on every position every single day. We'd love to sell calls on everything, but every single environment, every market environment isn't perfect for covered call writing. I wouldn't send you out into the busy highway to just go pick up a nickel. It's not worth the risk. So what we do is we go through a process for every single stock, every single day, to determine whether or not it fits our rules-based process to write a covered call. When volatility is higher, when markets are scary, we write a lot more covered calls. Covered calls work best when we need them to most, in periods of fear and great volatility. Conversely, there's other times when volatility is very low, markets are appreciating, and it's counterproductive to write too many calls. So in April of 2020, if you remember that time period, markets were real scary, real volatile. Thanks for laughing. We had 14 covered calls written on our portfolio. Just a few months prior, December of 2019, volatility was muted. No one knew what a coronavirus was. Things were good in the broader terms from an economic standpoint, and we had 0 covered calls written in December. So even though it's a very rules-based process, we do the same thing whether markets are up, down, or sideways. There's going to be times when we're heavily covered, and there's going to be times when we have no options written on the portfolio.
What's the bottom line?
The bottom line today, Lou, is something that we love to say around capital wealth planning when it comes to covered call writing. At Capital Wealth Planning, we've got you covered.